Hey everyone, Seymour Balzac here, and we got some great news for the game. We got news on Series Downgrade, and so far everything I've seen about this I like. I think this is needed addition for the game. It is a great addition for the game, and based on what we've seen so far, I think they're doing it well. Obviously, that can change, but on the information we have so far, I really like it. So, series downgrades. What are we talking about? Well, first we have the cards. This is going to happen right now. It's scheduled January 31st. It has to come with a patch, and as we all know, patches can be delayed, so it might be a little bit longer. But right now, scheduled January 31st. You're going to have Super Skrull, Shuri, Black Panther, Valkyrie, and Bast downgraded from Series 5 to Series 4. You're going to have She-Hulk, Absorbing Man, Titania, and Luke Cage downgraded from Series 4 to Series 3. And now what I think this does is this is really, really going to improve the post Series 3 complete experience, because when those cards are being downgraded to Series 3, if you don't have them, it's going to make it easy, super easy for you to unlock them. So if they do this, say like monthly, which I believe the plan is to do it roughly monthly, it has to come with a patch, so it won't always be exactly a month, but it's roughly monthly. You're basically going to get a roughly monthly addition of cards to your collection if you're Series 3 complete, which I think is great, especially if they do 4 cards like they have now. If they do 4 cards like they have now, plus you have the Battle Pass card, that's basically 5 cards a month that are being added to Series 3 complete players, which I think that's a decent pace. That's a good amount. Now, in the case, say like me, I already have Luke Cage. I'm only gonna have 4 cards this month. That's fine. I basically got early access Luke Cage. Whatever. I'm fine with that. I think this is a good. Uh, I think if they stick to monthly and they do around 4 cards downgraded from 4 to 3 a month, I think that's a good pace, and I think that'll really solve the Series 3 issues. So I'm really happy about that. Additionally, it does not look like they're locking power behind series. So if you look, you have She-Hulk and Absorbing Man being downgraded from 4 to 3. Those are like two of the best Series 4 cards. If they were locking power behind series, they would not be downgrading those cards. So it definitely seems like a more time thing, because if you look at all the cards being downgraded, these were in the first batch that were released into Series 4 and 5 when they were first released in November. Uh, so it seems like roughly a 2 month period is what you're looking at for a card in the series before it gets downgraded, based on this. So it's time based, not power based, based on what I'm seeing. I think that's the better way to do it. That's great. It's important to note Second Dinner has said Thanos and Galactus will not follow this kind of same schedule that these are following. They're going to be on their own schedule because they're kind of the big bads of the Marvel Universe, and they want to keep them super rare and all that stuff. So those will be staying in Series 5 until further notice. So I imagine those will get downgraded whenever they get more new big bads added to Series 5, which who knows when that will be. So Thanos and Galactus will be staying Series 5 for the foreseeable future. So if you want to buy those cards with tokens, you don't have to worry about it, decreasing from 6,000 to 3,000 anytime soon. You can go ahead and buy those for the 6,000 and not worry. Um, so this this is all great news. And everything, but what does this mean for you as the player? Well, it means that you're not gonna want to buy these cards in the token shop for the next couple of weeks. Why would you buy Shuri now for 6,000 tokens when you can get Shuri in 2 weeks for 3,000 tokens, especially when tokens are by far the most valuable resource in the game. You want to be using those as efficiently as possible. So I would not be buying any of these cards with tokens until they downgrade. Now, to add on to that, Second Dinner has said that if you pin a card in your shop now and then it downgrades on the 31st, the shop price will update on that pinned card. So let's say you're playing Zabu, you really want Shuri, and Shuri shows up in your shop now. Say that 5 times fast. You can pin Shuri now, and then the day it downgrades, you'll be able to buy it for 3,000 tokens. So if one of these 9 cards shows up in your shop, and you really want that card, but for the downgraded price, you can pin it now. So you can definitely take advantage of that. Um, Also, the other thing that I would recommend is if you're Series 3 complete, save your credits. It's what I'm going to be doing, because when you're Series 3 complete, the only cards you're getting are basically your guaranteed Series 4 card um, every 40 reserves. You get a guaranteed Series 4 card every 40 reserves. So if you are still spending your credits when you're Series 3 complete, and eventually you hit that guaranteed Series 4 card, let's say you got She-Hulk as your guaranteed Series 4 card, and then it downgrades a week later, well, you kind of just wasted your guaranteed Series 4 card. If you had saved your credits, you maybe could have gotten, say, Shuri out of that after the downgrade, right? So if you're Series 3 complete, or if you feel like going through it and figuring it out, it's every 480 collection levels, you're guaranteed a Series 4 card. So I went ahead and did that for myself, and I'm actually very, very close to just being guaranteed a Series 4 card. I'm near the end of my 480 collection level batch, and I haven't had a Series 4 card yet. So I'm going to be especially careful about not spending my credits because, again, I don't want to unlock one of the cards that's going to be downgraded in 2 weeks. It's important to note, though, if you're saving your credits, there is a 10,000 credit cap, so just watch out for that. And then if you're still working on Series 3, I just keep working on Series 3. I wouldn't worry about it too much, but it's up to you. I'd say it's a case by case basis. Do what you want. Figure it out based on the information I gave you there. Um, Overall, as I mentioned, I really like this change. Um, I still have one concern about the card acquisition model in Marvel Snap, and it's the fact that new cards are still heavily gated on release. And I think the hype new cards generate for card games is incredibly valuable for card games and their long-term health and their marketing. So I'm not sure like if this is like is if this is the best system for that. Like what if a new card is announced, like it's going to be based on this. It'll be roughly 2 months before it downgrades from 5 to 4. So it's basically 2 months you don't have a realistic chance of getting it unless you want to drop 6,000 tokens on it. And again, tokens are incredibly valuable, especially when you know the card's going to drop in 2 months. Like dropping 6,000 tokens on it is pretty rough, right? Um, and then when it drops, it gets down to 3,000. So that's a more reasonable amount to spend on a card. Some people are going to be getting that card in the guaranteed Series 4 card pulls, but then it doesn't become fully available till probably roughly 2 months later in Series 3. So you're basically looking at 2 to 4 months after card release before you can reasonably get a card. And I don't think that is necessarily the best thing. Again, like I think card games should really try to like cash in on that new card hype and not just gate it behind something that's impossible to get for a couple of months. So I'm still concerned about that. But this update was not meant to address that. This update, I think, again, as I mentioned, the card acquisition in this game is in a much better spot than before they announced this. This was much needed. I'm super excited for this update. I'm very happy for it. It's going to put the game in a much better spot, and I quite frankly can't wait till the downgrades. I wish it was January 31st right now because this is going to be great. I'm so excited to get Absorbing Man. I've been wanting to play with Absorbing Man since it released, and I cannot wait to play with this card. I'm so excited for it to downgrade and for me to get Absorbing Man. So yeah, this great update. Good job, Second Dinner. Awesome.